Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, I'm going to try to answer this very important question. Why Bitcoin keeps crashing. First of all, is it really crashing? And second of all, why does it keep doing it? So let's talk about all these things and more. And also tonight is DCA night. And I got something very, very surprising to show you guys. So make sure you tune in for that. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Unfortunately, Bitcoin did go a little further down. We're at 61.4. So it's a little bit lower than this morning. This morning it got to about 62.6. It looked like it was climbing, it was stable, and then boom, we made another leg down for whatever reason. And I'm going to try to explain it. But is this considered a crash or a dump? Well, to some maybe, right? But I got something very, very surprising to show you guys when I get to my DCA portfolio. Now, what happened today? A couple things. Number one, Robinhood. A lot of you guys buy crypto on Robinhood, so it makes sense that they made a lot of money for Q1. They did very, very well with their revenue, with their profits. Their crypto profits in particular went up 3x in Q1 versus Q4. And that's because we know in Q1, especially in March and February, things were really hot. So a lot of trades, right? So they made a ton of money with crypto trading. But here's the thing. We know that they were served a Wells notice from Gary Gensler. How is that going to affect things for Robinhood going forward? Right? And I don't even know what the SEC is going after. Robinhood always caves and tries to be compliant on everything they ask for. So I don't know what's going to happen. Are they really going to get sued? And if so, for what? Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite know. So that happened today. But, you know, everyone's wondering, why did Bitcoin go down further? Well, if you look at the ETFs, we don't know the exact numbers, but you know, Grayscale, looks like Grayscale did not sell today. So we can't blame Grayscale today. Okay, and we have a plus 11 million for Bitwise's Bitcoin ETF. We don't know about BlackRock and others, but today it's 0 for Grayscale. So it doesn't seem like they are who's behind it, but tomorrow we'll see what the overall net inflow or outflow or net flow is. Yesterday it was net outflow, so I don't know, maybe today will be the same thing too. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin went down a little bit further. But I also saw this, you know, this morning I was saying, you know, who is actually selling right now? Because it doesn't seem like it's the big boys. You know, it could be some of the VCs. Okay, so I saw this article, pretty telling in terms of how much is going to be sold in the coming months as it relates to altcoins and Bitcoin. And here's why. For the alts, there are a staggering number of L1s that are unlocking huge amounts of tokens. So if you're holding on one of these, most likely they will either get weaker or not move for quite some bit. I hate to say it, but when you unlock this much tokens for some of these projects, it's going to have effect. Now, for Aptos, Starkware, Arbitrum, right? Okay. 97 million for Aptos, 79 million for Starkware, 94 million for Arbitrum. I guess okay, not too bad. 53 million for Immutable, okay. But then someone like Avalanche, $333 million of Avalanche, if that's correct, that's a lot. 64 million of Optimism, 28 million Prime. I don't even know what Prime is, but 1 billion of SUI. And I saw that there's a lot of controversy about how much they are unlocking for the Series A investors, early investors basically, and part of the treasury, a ton of SUI being unlocked. And then 48 million Ethna, and then 171 million for AltLayer, and 135 for Zai, some of these are smaller projects, but you could see like Avalanche and Sui and all these L2s like Optimism, Arbitrum, Starkwire. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of selling, well, there will be a lot of unlocking. Will there be a lot of selling? Probably. A lot of people have been waiting for these unlocks for a long time, especially early investors like VCs. So maybe that's part of the reason, because a lot of them are anticipating that, hey, there will be price volatility, maybe some selling. So there may be some that are pre-selling ahead of time. Okay, there's that. But as for Bitcoin, you got a ton, $11 billion of the Bitcoin being distributed to creditors of Gemini. Okay, this is one of the reasons why Grayscale has been selling so much, because Genesis, they needed to earn back some cash to pay back creditors like Gemini and Mt. Gox. Here's another thing. We haven't talked about Mt. Gox for a long time. So apparently the deadline to pay out all the creditors is this October. So it's starting to happen now. There are a lot of people that are taking cash. A lot of people are getting Bitcoin, right? So maybe this is causing a little fear, okay? Or maybe some people are selling. But most of the big creditors, they already said that they're not selling. A lot of people that's been waiting for 10 years to get their money back, right? They're like, why not just hold for another few years or another 10 years? So I don't know if this is actually contributing to today's fall, but as we go forward until October, maybe. But it really depends. Again, like if you've been holding for 10 years or however many years you've been holding, it's not 10 years. That's too much. But like if you've been holding for 5 years, 8 years, whatever Mt. Gox crash, I don't know. Most likely you're a Bitcoiner and you know about the halving event and you know about the most bullish period of a cycle, which is right after a halving event. You know, this would be really silly time to be selling, right? So there's that too. So, maybe all these unlocks and Mt. Gox is causing some FUD, just a little bit. But I would say this, okay? And again, it seems like we're going in the wrong direction right now. But on a grand scheme of things, we're not really doing anything different than previous cycles. Okay, really, we're not. We have seen this before. It's not even going back to previous cycle. Here's an example of us doing the same thing right around the February timeframe of this year, and the same thing around October of last year. Okay, I mean, we have dips. We have periods where we get weak. And it seems like all is lost and we're going to go down forever. No, we're not. We saw the very same kind of dips happen. And if you compare it to what you see in 2017, yeah, we saw that too. So we see these kind of dips over and over and over and over again, right? I've been reminding you guys that dips and volatility, they are normal. And again, when you really zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out. You're like, okay, I don't even really see a dip. We're 1% past the halving event, and if you compare it to the 1% after the last halving event and the one before that, and you'll see that again looks very similar. If you look at the halving event in 2016, you could see afterwards. If you zoom in, you'll actually see that there's a big dip that comes. And then you look at the 2020 halving event, you can see it doesn't do anything, and then there's a little dip, right? So we're kind of having that little dip right now because we were already ahead of the game. We broke through all-time high before the halving event, which never happened before. So if we had that little dip right now, just like what happened before, but a little bit earlier, that's exactly normal. That's what's supposed to happen. So do not get discouraged. And again, I got a surprise to show you guys. In case you're thinking, oh, like this guy right here, Ronald McDonald. If you're like this right here and you're feeling the pain and you know, you're letting the FUD get to you, I got something good to share with you guys when it comes to my DCA portfolio. Okay. Now, outside of Bitcoin, what else is going on? Well, memes are still hot. In fact, investment manager Van Eyck, who also have a Bitcoin ETF, they launched a meme coin index, which includes all the major meme coins out there. Doge, Sheep, Pepe, and then you got Whiff, Floki, Bonk. You could consider these, I guess, the blue chips of memes. So now they have an index where it tracks basically how memes are moving, right? And pretty soon, will there be a meme coin ETF? That would be absolutely nutty if that happens, right? But memes, some memes are still holding well, some are not. But some of the new ones, I got to give a shout out to one that my fellow compadres from Dirty Degen, Josh and Scott, they recently found one called Chuck, so I got to give them all the credit. But Chuck, I mean, I showed it last time, like a few days ago on stream because someone asked about it. Man, this meme is hot. This could be the next Costco hot dog, right? So there are still some that are doing very, very well. So memes are not going to go away. Yeah, they will stay for this cycle. Now, outside of memes, are there legit good projects? Yes, Injective. Just the other day, someone asked me about Injective. Why is it not moving? It got a little weaker since March, but it had a ferocious run in 2023 and even the beginning of this year. And now they're getting ready for Injective 3, which will put them on that path again because they're making their chain very, very deflationary. They're decreasing their inflation rate and they're increasing their burning based on stake tokens. And they're going to have the schedule where basically they're going to burn a whole bunch of tokens, making Injective super, super deflationary, right? So that is their new goal. So that could definitely get them back on the right track again because they were the hottest L1 in 2023. And you could argue the beginning of 2024 too. They're also launching a L3 on Arbitrum because Arbitrum does support L3s now. And this is just boosting interoperability between Cosmos, which is where Injective resides on, Solana, and Ethereum. Pretty awesome. What else is there? I saw Call of Duty game Shrapnel, Call of Duty like game Shrapnel. Some of you guys may have heard of it, may play it. It's on Avalanche. Right, they're going to enable credit card, debit card purchases. This is important. Fiat on ramp, off ramp. You know, those of us that have a lot of crypto, we just think, oh, we don't need to, you know, care about fiat on ramp, off ramp. But it's actually important because everyone new coming in, they don't have it. They have. That's why sexes like Coinbase are so popular because that's the only way for people to onboard, right? Utilizing their bank or credit card. So games and projects that enable more fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, I think it's a good idea. It's good. It's good. Lastly, SEC argues that, hey, that $2 billion penalty that they want is legit, but Ripple's counter of $10 million is a slap in the face. Well, SEC could argue all they want, but they're going to lose the case. That's why Ripple is like, it's like, okay, we'll throw you a little bit. We'll throw you a bone, but we're not going to give you our whole dinner, right? $2 billion, even though Ripple could afford $2 billion, but who's going to pay $2 billion when Ripple knows that they're actually going to win, right? They just want this to go away. So we'll see. But Gary is on his way out soon. So we'll see if they settle before that or right before he leaves. He's like, okay, I'll accept or whatever, right? All right. Lastly, let's get to my DCA portfolio. And the reason why this is surprising or shocking, you could say. Oh, man, this logged me out, so I got to log back in. The reason why it's shocking because, you know, you based on a day like today, you would figure, oh man, everything's down, right? And it's very, very gloomy. But here's the thing. All time on my DCA portfolio, still up 59%. In fact, if you look at 1 week performance, it's up 7%. I think a lot of you guys forgot that last week we were in a much worse position. Bitcoin was in the 50s, right? So week over week, my DCA portfolio actually gained 7%. So that's the surprising thing. So again, sometimes when we live in crypto, we tend to like the time, I guess, right? Gets I don't know, warped, so to speak. Like we're like in a time bubble or something where everything seems accelerated. But when you take a step back and realize we're actually up for the week, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, right? So that's the surprising thing. Last week I forgot what I DCA'd into, but I'm pretty sure they're all up. And overall, even long term, still up about 60% on this portfolio. Again, it shows you guys DCA works. Just continue to hodl, DCA the awesome projects that you love, and let the gains come to you. That's really it. All right, so I got to figure out what to DCA today. Let's see. I really don't remember what I DCA last week, but I do know some of these are very, very. I mean, Cardano and Vice almost in the green, but Cardano, man, still down 24% even after DCing all this time. Polygon, Cosmos, Injective is up, Sui is still down, Arbitrum. I just mentioned a lot of these unlocks that are happening, so I'm going to avoid those projects for now. A Cock is still up 77%. Render, I think I DCA'd. I think I remember I DCA'd into DPIN projects last time, like Render. So that was probably a good pickup. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. Phantom has done well. Has climbed up a lot. 19%. That's not bad. All right, let's sort by 24-hour change. Helium is down 10%, down 20%. Sui, 33%, down 6% today. Jupiter, I'm pretty sure I bought some Jupiter last time. Nosana, which is a DPIN project on Solana, they could be a good pickup right now. They're only down about 7% all-time high from the all-time high. Pit Network also down about 16%. You know what? I might just go all Solana this week. So something like Pith and Nosada, they're both on Solana. I think they could do well. WIF is still up. Chili's, I don't know about Chili's anymore. They are nowhere close. Maybe like someone like Jupiter too. Even though I'm up, I believe Jupiter is going to be extremely strong. They're already the biggest DEX out there based on volume. So let's do that. Let's add. Let's do a three-way split between 3 Solana projects. First, I'll do $33 into Jupiter. All right, and then let's do $33 in Nosana. And then let's add a little bit of Pith, and let's do $33 as well. All right, so it's a Solana week without adding Sol. So I added Jupiter, Nosana, and Pith. I think they are good pickups. And we will see how this next week is. But again, if you're discouraged, just know that week over week, we are actually up pretty substantial. So today, even though we went down, and it sucks, I know it does, just remember we were here last week. All right, let's do some Q&A. Get rid of ApeCoin. Yeah, Sarasota. Yeah, Sarasota Joe. I've been thinking about getting rid of Ape. I'll probably do that next time. I might get rid of Chili's too. There are some that I just don't think will come back. All right, let me scroll up here. I need to get rid of this Ronald McDonald's kind of kind of annoying. Iman says we need to take it easy with memes. It's addictive. Almost everything in crypto is addictive. Let's see here. Creepy Sheepy. Do you watch European soccer matches? No. I'm not a soccer guy at all. My kids are really into soccer, and it drives me nuts when I say soccer and they're like, no, it's football. And then they call football hand egg. I'm like, you guys need to make better friends or something. Like that, that irritates me so much, but at least they enjoy something. Sith Lord, you're 25% keeping cash. Where do you keep it? Bank stables, under mattress? Not under mattress. You need to keep it where you have access to it and can use it any time, right? Even a bank may be too late. I keep it in stables. Like if you need to use it, use it. With a bank, you know, you may have to wait a few days before it settles. Thoughts on Aerodrome? You know what? I've changed my mind on Aerodrome a little bit. It has done really well because it's on Base, and Base is doing well because of memes and so forth. But I can't get the thing to work. Every time I try to use it, it just keeps airing out. And you know what? Most memes you can find at Uniswap. So I turned neutral on Aerodrome. I was really against it. Then I became really for it. Now I'm just neutral. Like, I don't know. I can't get it to work. Ray says, is the stock market going to crash? People are saying it's bad and overvalued in the 70s. No. But there is a chance it could crash. You know, there's a chance that the U.S. still goes in recession. But I don't think Powell's going to, let that happen. Powell will cut rates. If he sees more slowness with economic data, he's just going to cut rates. He's going to do it. He's going to do it fast, regardless of inflation. So, yeah. Crypto Pegasus says, thanks for mentioning Chuck. It's a legit project. Many are saying it's even bigger than Bread. It only has 20 million. I don't know about bigger than Bread. Okay, so let's not go there yet. But we know that some of these memes, they just catch on fire for no apparent reason sometimes, right? Obviously, it can't be a rug project. And the founders or leaders need to know what they're doing, and including, you know, continuing the memes and marketing, and also keeping up the liquidity, right? Amping up and adding more liquidity to the pool is important. I've seen some projects where they don't do that, so when some whales sell off, it just dumps. There are things that I think they're doing right. I don't know anything about the founders or anything. Like I said, my guys from Dirty Degen, they found it at like 2 million, so now it's 10x. But the way they're moving, they could be the next Costco. I mean, Costco went from nothing. When I saw them, it was like basically nothing, and went up to 110 million, and they're still holding strong now. What's your plan for Mother's Day? I don't really have anything. I don't have any plans. I already spoiled her with everything already. So she has everything already, so I don't know. I'm not romantic like that, and after being married for so long, it's hard to be romantic, I guess. King Diamond Crypto, I did look at Chuck already. I don't want to keep pulling it up. I don't want to keep like trying to shill it to the moon, but I'll do it one more time. But this is what it looks like, and it looks pretty damn gorgeous. For a meme coin, that's pretty much a linear upwards. Do you plan on holding any leverage trades or bull run? I gotta say, man, my strategy, the one I shared about going 2 to 3x works, except, you know, I got greedy and I started upping them to 5 to 10x, and that was a horrible decision. If you stick with low leverage, I think it's gonna work out great, because you know, like if you do a 2x leverage on Bitcoin, it's not gonna fall down to 30,000. So you have no worries about liquidation. But, you know, when you go like higher, 5, 8, 10x, 15x, chance of liquidation is so high, right? So that's the thing with leverage. You can't be greedy, especially right now. You just can't. Take out your profits, set those stop losses. Do not be greedy. Dinner flowers. She hates flowers, so I never buy her flowers, which is good because she thinks it's a waste of money, and I do too. So we have that in common. Yeah, probably dinner or something. Um, are you invested in MicroStrategy stock? No, no. I was invested in Coinbase. And I still think it's a good hold, but, you know, I should have gone with MicroStrategy. Joseph says, is there an exchange that you can buy and sell all your cryptos on? No, there's not one that has everything. Well, I mean, there are a lot that hold a lot. So BitUnix has like 200 trading pairs, and Fairdesk, right? Both of those are still open to U.S. residents. But I think BitUnix have more trading pairs. You could check them out. Use my link in the description. But yeah, if you're using someone like Coinbase, for example, they have very little pairs. Nick is asking, if there's a big pullback price drop in real estate, how well will it affect crypto? Hey, let's be real here. If there is a big major crash, doesn't matter if it's the stock market or real estate, it's going to pull everything down. Because people get fearful and they just panic sell everything. Okay? Now, who will recover the fastest? It's always crypto. Crypto always recovers the fastest. So That's the thing. But yeah, if there's a big pullback on other markets, it's going to affect crypto negatively. Why are prominent crypto content creator talking about Fetch and Singularity separately, but not mentioning ASI? Because there's no one that knows what's going to happen. Yes, they pre-announced it, but when is it going to happen? What, like, what kind of breakdown? Like, how are you going to redeem? All that stuff. No one knows. Coinbase is terrible, but my country is limited. What country are you from? Thoughts on gaming tokens? Richard or Kevin Richardson asks, Medicaid or GFall? I've heard of both of them. I'm not familiar with either one. GFall is more like a gaming platform, like a mini Gala or Vulcan kind of, right? Medicaid, don't know really anything about, so I don't know. I will say this. There are a lot of promising gaming projects and platforms, but gaming narrative has not really kicked in. We don't really see gaming projects take off, right? At least not right now. There was a brief stint where we saw some go up, and then it just kind of like died. Right now, you just don't see games doing very, very well. Now, that could definitely change later this year or next year during altcoin season. But I haven't been paying, I'll be honest, I haven't been paying enough attention to games because of that reason. But there are some good ones that are still executing. When everyone screams we're going to zero, it's time to buy. When everyone's screaming we're going to 1 million, it's time to sell. Basically, be the contrarian, right? Or, yeah, be a contrarian. So when everyone's FOMOing, that's when you sell. When everyone's panic selling, panic dumping, that's when you buy. It's that simple. Predictions on who wins? No, I'm not going to answer that. Sol will hit 500 before it goes to 0. Just like Bitcoin will hit 100K before it goes to 12. Never listen to a sub 15K prediction. What? Who did you hear that from? Or do you believe in that, GG? I don't know. I don't know. I actually bought a really cool machine that can mix all the drinks for you. You just buy these capsules, but then you dump your alcohol into these bottles, and it just takes whatever and makes a really cool cocktail for you. It's actually a cool machine. Very cool machine. Let's see. Crypto Hound, welcome. Is Chainlink going to recover? Yeah. It's still one of the big caps. Or no, it's not a big cap anymore. Yeah, it is. It's still 8 billion plus. Like my definition of big cap, usually before in 2021, was anything above 8 billion. And it is still. It's a big cap. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't move with the others, but it slowly trends upwards and people just kind of ignore it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, how did Chainlink get up there, right? Amsterdam. I don't think I'll ever go to Amsterdam. No, I take that back. I've been to Amsterdam before. It's not a destination I'm really looking forward to right now. It seems like it's a flyover state. in Europe, sort of. But I hear it's good. Yeah, no, Robert has it. The Bartesian. The pods are a little expensive because it comes out to be like $2.80, almost $3 per pod. But you know they're not bad, and it's great for parties. Could you look on Federico? Can you look the charts of Telcoin? Man, Telcoin just lost. I don't know what happened to them. They were so promising in 2021. Okay. And they said, you know, they're all about remittance, sending money to Africa, to Europe from the United States, and vice versa. And they bought some bank, I remember, in Wyoming, and then something happened and just lost all momentum. And they are nowhere close. Nowhere close to their previous high. So I don't know if they changed direction or what. Are they still in remittance? I think so. Yeah. But not sure what really happened there. I just know that they just lost all momentum. I don't know if it's the founders left or some kind of controversy or something. But yeah. Any thoughts on Big Red? Should I keep my bag? Yes. Why would you not? The team is not giving up. The market's down, you know. So you got to give them a chance to recover. Thoughts on ETC if ETH is deemed a security? Well, see, the thing is, ETC may not be deemed. Before, I would say yes. But because ETC didn't follow the same path as ETH and didn't convert to proof of stake, if that's the reason why SEC is going to deem ETH a security, I'm not saying that's a good reason. But if they did use that reason, then ETC would be in the clear. But no one's using ETC for anything. So. All right, guys. This light beer got me all drowsy. So why does Bitcoin keep crashing? Well, first of all, is it a crash? Maybe a little blip. Maybe a little volatility, but certainly not a crash. But there are some reasons why I think maybe people are getting scared. All those unlocks, maybe Mt. Gox, you know what? Maybe the ETFs, you know. But just know that, hey, we have seen this before. We've seen this many, many times during this cycle, during previous cycles. So don't be discouraged. Stay strong, my friends. And even my DCA portfolio proved it. Week over week, we're still up substantially. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.